Okay, here we go with another Wednesday. And this Wednesday, we are going to work on solving for a single variable. So when we get done, we'll have x equals some number. And we're going to also deal with it with distribution. Okay? So as we go through this process, just remember the multiple steps. If you literally just write down the steps I show you, then repeat those steps in the following problems. This is going to be an easy lesson for you. Okay? First thing we're going to do is take this 3. It looks like that pen's going to stop working. I apologize. We're going to take this 3 and we're going to multiply it times that x. Okay? So we get 3 times x. And then we're going to take this 3 and we're going to multiply it times that 2. So it's a positive 3 times a 2. And then just keep writing what you see. You see an equals, and then you see a 15. Okay? Then we'll just do the multiplication that we see. 3 times x is 3x. Positive 3 times positive 2 is positive 6. And of course, we just keep writing everything else we see. Now, 3x and 6 cannot be combined, but the 6 can move over here with the 15. If I have plus 6 on this side, I can undo the plus 6 by subtracting 6, but it has to be subtracted from both sides. Okay? Right here, I bring down my 3x. 6 minus 6 is 0. So in essence, that disappears. I bring down the equal sign. I can calculate 15 minus 6 to be 9. Now, once I get done with getting rid of the addition and subtraction parts, all that's left here is multiplication on this side. This is 3 times x, and the way to get rid of that 3 is simply to divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so I have 1x. 9 divided by 3 is 3, and we have an answer. Now, if you wanted to test this, you can put it back up top. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, I'll move along. Just follow the steps and everything will work out well. So we have a positive 2 times a negative x. And then we have a positive 2 times a negative 5. And of course, you see we have equals 2. Okay, and we just do the math here. Positive times a negative is a negative. 2 times x is negative 2x. Positive times a negative is a negative. 2 times 5 gives us 10. And this again equals 2. Just keep writing everything you see after you've calculated. The 10 can be moved to the other side if we just add 10 to both sides. I bring down my negative 2x. 10 minus 10 is 0. I bring down my equal sign. 2 plus 10 is 12. Now, this is multiplication. So to undo the multiplication, I will divide both sides by negative 2. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is positive 1, and that'll be positive 1x equals. Now, a positive divided by a negative gives us a negative. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And there's our final answer. Again, you can put that back in up top to check it out if you so desire. One more practice problem. This one we're going to distribute a negative. We have a negative 4 times x. And we have a negative 4 times negative 2. And this equals negative 16. We'll just bring that down here. Negative times a negative. Negative times a positive is a negative. 4 times x is 4x. A negative times a negative creates a positive. 4 times 2 is 8. Bring down the equals and negative 16. Subtract the 8 from both sides. Bring down the negative 4x. 8 minus 8 is 0. Bring down the equal sign. You might want to use the calculator here if you're struggling. But remember, a negative minus another number is just a bigger or larger negative number, if you will. Negative 16 minus 8 is negative 24. we're going to divide both sides here by our -4. -4 divided by -4 is 1. And that leaves us 1x on this side. Negative divided by negative is a positive. We don't need to write the positive. 24 divided by 4 is 6. And you can go up top and check that answer if you want. But I know it works out really nicely. All right, that's your lesson for today. You can pause the video at this point. In a couple seconds, I'm going to then work the other problems out so you can have the key for those problems. So be sure to stop the video and give it a good try on your own. Don't forget, you're doing Delta Math on Fridays, and Delta Math is just like these problems. So make sure you're getting good practice here, okay? All right, I hope you stopped the video, and now I'm going to go ahead and continue with working out this key. Excuse me. We have 2 times -x, and then a +2 again, times a +4. This all equals -6. Positive times a negative gives us a -2x. Positive times a positive gives us a +8, because 2 times 4 is 8. That equals -6. Again, this has an x, this does not. This is just a number. This is just a number. So we want to get that number over there. If it's a +8 here, we get rid of it with a -8. And we have to do that to both sides. Bring down the -2x. 8 minus 8 is 0. Bring down the equal sign. -6 minus 8 is -14. Okay. Divide both sides by your -2. You're going to wind up with x equals -14 divided by 2 is 7. And there's your answer. Okay. Next problem, distribute this -3. So -3 times x. And then the -3 times the -3. And bring down the equals 12. -3 times x is -3x. -3 times -3 is +9. And this equals 12. How do you get rid of this +9? You subtract it. That's good. So you get -3x equals 3. Divide both sides by -3. 1x equals, now pay attention, positive divided by a negative is a negative. 3 divided by 3 is 1. There's your final answer. All right, here we go. Now 5 times x is 5x. I want to kind of take a shortcut here. 5 times -5 is -25. And if you got to go back and work out all these other steps that I did, do that. But this is just saving one step if you understand how the multiplication works. I'm trying to speed up for some people. And of course, bring in your equals -20. Okay. Got to bring this 25 to the other side. Since it's negative here, we have to add 25 to both sides. And we get 5x equals 5. Divide both sides by 5, and x equals 1. Okay, you can check in with your teachers every day at 10:30 and 2:30 in Google Hangouts. That's where we'll answer some questions for you. We're trying to design this to not put too much work on your shoulders, but to securely help you complete mastering your mathematics. I will see you next week when I'm dealing with domain with you. I hope you have a good week. Take care.